Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about my thoughts on the David Corenswet Superman suit from James Gunn's Superman movie. So I wanted to re-upload this video because there's like some things I wanted to touch on a little bit more and change a little things up like here and there and stuff like that. And so yeah. So when it comes to this suit, I don't hate it. That's the thing. Like, I don't hate the suit, but I don't love it at the same time. It just seems so unflattering. Like, it looks like just very baggy, cumbersome. And it doesn't look inspiring, which, technically, a lot of Superman suits are relative the same. It's blue, it's red, maybe a little yellow in it, a big red S on the chest, and a red cape. But, despite every Superman suit looking similar, just different in everything, you can still give it some personality. The problem I'm having with this suit is a couple of little things. One is just James Gunn picking and choosing from different types of Superman suits that he likes and incorporating it into his own. Not very inspiring, not very original. And he could have really upped the ante. He could have even went an Elseworld route, you know what I'm saying? Sasha Calle, her suit looked great and everything. That was inspired by Henry Cavill's outfit. But still, it looked very different. And just like I said in the other video, that in all these different animation that Superman has been in, the really old Superman cartoons from back in the day, like the Flasher cartoons, the Super Friends, Justice League Unlimited, Superman, the animated series, especially the Legion of Superheroes, Batman Brave and the Bold, and Batman and Justice League Action. No matter what version of the cartoon you're looking at, every Superman tends to look different because of how the body shape is and because they slightly tweak the costume a little here and there. And it's weird how in animation they can make something look completely different. I mean, Superman the animated series and Justice League Unlimited is based on the same Superman, but yet his costume looks different because of how he's drawn and everything. And not only that, but it's just kind of odd that he would pick and choose from different versions of Superman and just incorporate it into his own and call it his own and everything. It does get a bit confusing and throwing people off because, he's referenced All-Star Superman. And he's also referenced the Kingdom Come symbol on the chest that really confused a lot of diehard fans and stuff like that, I remember for the Amazing Spider-Man, they changed his suit to look more like Ben Reilly. So first I was thinking, oh, maybe they're going to have a clone there. No, they just want the suit to look a little different. I get that. I mean, heck, look at Tom Holland's Spider-Man suit. The basic Spider-Man design, but in a more Tony Stark MCU look to it. When you look at all three Spider-Man suits all together, yes, same type of design, but they all look different. And that's what I was hoping for this one. I was hoping for a different Superman costume. And for the most part, I did get a different Superman costume. I just didn't get the one I truly wanted. I was really hoping he would just really give us something cool. But he's old school and he likes to do old school stuff and use fabric. And this Superman suit looks very cheap. Not to mention it's the pose. If this is going to be your very first Superman and the first image that you leak out to the world, you gotta have a big, bold, pose. Not him sitting in the chair, slowly putting on his boots as something weird is going on outside. I have seen the memes, and they are hilarious. And I feel bad for David Corenswet. And so, and like I said before, I truly feel like James Gunn is trying to have his cake and eat it too. With the whole Henry Cavill thing not being Superman no more, like, that's gonna piss off a lot of like Henry Cavill fans and a lot of Snyder Bro fans and stuff. And David Corenswet does look like Henry Cavill and everything. It is iconic and uncanny. But that's just gonna anger people more and everything. And I really wish he would have went out with a whole different, completely different costume. Honestly, I wish he would have went New 52 all the way. But, he didn't. And, when you look at Zack Snyder's Superman suit, it was inspired by the New 52. Just tweaked to look more like the classic and stuff. And so it's interesting when you look at this suit and you break it all down. And when I first looked at it, I glanced at it like really fast, and like it reminded me so much of Henry Cavill's suit, just baggy and everything. And because I saw like the same little dot pattern that was on the costume, which I'm getting so tired of super costumes being like that. It started with Spider-Man and it has gone all the way up to here. But there's been other costumes that don't look like that. None of the MCU costume had a little dot pattern. It's just DC for some bizarre reason now. Even the Spider-Man suits really don't do that no more. But like it does look reminiscent in some places to that of Zack Snyder's. So and also Kingdom Come and even Tyler Hoechlin's very first Superman suit. Especially the material and the pattern and everything. So let's break this all down. First things first, this does not seem to have no padding, no muscles, no abs, none of that. Which is really sad because this is Superman. I mean, Henry Cavill's Superman suit broke the freaking mold and everything. That was money well placed. He looks like a Superman and everything. He's big, he's buff, he's muscular. You gotta repeat that formula. Heck, even Ben Affleck Batman looked like Superman. Even Jason Momoa, Aquaman suit and everything, he looks like a Superman. You gotta up your ante or do the same like that. But instead, we get this really big baggy suit, which, like I said in my last video, it could be like the Legion of Superhero cartoon, where a teenage Clark was really skinny, he went to the future, put on an adult Superman suit, and then all of a sudden, it just fit form to his body, similar to Marty's jacket in Back to the Future. That might actually be the case. Same thing with Spider-Man Tom Holland's outfit. It's baggy, but then it like formed to his body. So it might do something like that. If it does not, this is going to be embarrassing. Now, it could be just because he's sitting down, they need a suit for him to sit down in more baggier. But why the world is it so baggy? I hope to God it fits the form in his body. If not, it's going to look stupid and it's going to be embarrassing. Now, the top part of the blue is darker and muted. And the bottom part of the blue where the pants are is a light colored blue. I don't get that. I'm getting tired of this muted Superman suit. Like, I got enough of that in Man of Steel and everything. And so I don't understand why there's two different color patterns. Maybe it's dark, maybe the shadow, the lighting, who knows, you know what I'm saying? Now, I can't believe, I gotta get to this next point. The freaking trunks. All you fanboys and fangirls out there, why, man? Why do y'all love the trunks? It looks cool. It looks cool in animation. Like, it looks cool, you know what I'm saying? But when you do it in live action, it was all right back in the 70s, the 80s. But after a while, man, you had to stop. This is the 21st century, okay? There are no more phone booths and everything. You're not going to wear like a hat and a big long trench coat and a suit and spin around real fast and turn into Superman. I don't want to see the red trunks no more. If it would have been something more like, him as Superboy and everything, then that would have been fine and everything. Or the very first costume like they did in the Lois and Superman show, where it was the very, very first costume. That would have been totally cool. But here in this day and age, why? Why does James Gunn like to really go old school? I don't know and everything. And I've noticed that he has a yellow belt all the way around his waist. It's not just like one part that's like red and one part yellow. The whole thing is yellow, so that's very classic. Now, when you get to the chest symbol, of course, that's the Kingdom Come one. And so I've noticed when it comes to that Zack Snyder suit, the material, Zack Snyder, the entire suit was made of the same material. The boots, the onesie and the chest symbol was all made from the same material, the little dotted pattern thing. On the chest emblem here, it seems to be dotted as well, like with the rest of the suit. I don't like that. I personally would prefer like a leather or like, a rubber or something like that. Like when you come to Brandon Routh's, like, Kingdom Come suit from CW, this suit is cool. It's basic, yes. They had to make it very fast, so they couldn't put no cool designs on it. But it's a classic comics accurate suit. And it looks amazing. And the chest symbol is like bright and shiny and everything. It is rubber. It's different from the material that the actual suit is made from. And there's even a version from when he has it in yellow and the light blue. And it's more classic to the old school Superman suit. And it's funny. The Kingdom Come outfit that Brandon Routh wore looks better in a way than what the what's his name, James Gunn gave us. Speaking of like, the CW, I've seen some people say this looks like a CW suit. Look, if you love or hate the CW Arrowverse, like whatever, those suits look good. You gotta give it up. They knew how to make suits and everything. Like they really truly did. Heck, even Titans knew how to make some really good suits and everything. So, and that was a TV streaming budget. So James Gunn ain't got no excuse. James Gunn is too old school. But speaking of the Arrowverse, like Superman suit, Tyler Hoechlin's first suit. Now the boots, as you can see, are big, bulky, and rubbery. Very similar to the ones Tyler wore and everything. So that's interesting because maybe James Gunn really is a fan of Superman and Lois, even though they have changed up Tyler's suit a couple of times. And so like in the original suit, if you can look around the chest area and you see like the shoulder part with a little badge on there, that's very similar to what's on here. Even the pattern, the material, the fabric material is similar and everything. So I'm surprised he went this cheap route to do this. And it does look very reminiscent of what Tyler Hoechlin wore and stuff. I don't like really understand why he did that. And because you think you want like you will want a Zack Snyder type suit. Like that thing looks freaking amazing. I don't understand why he would go old school like this in a little cheap looking fabric. Speaking of Zack Snyder, so like I said in my other video, like the parts around the wrist is not the same as that thing, but like the outlines are light blue, just like in Zack Snyder's suit and everything. And so like that just makes me think of Zack Snyder's suit. So when I see that around the wrist area, all I want is the Henry Cavill suit and everything. So that's really odd that he wanted to highlight these features in light blue, similar to what that suit was like in the Zack Snyder universe and stuff. But the top part of the suit, moving above the chest symbol from the shoulder pads to like the collar area and the neck piece and even the way the hair is styled. It's the new 52 look. Like take a close look at the hair in that cartoon picture or the comic picture. The way it's like the little cowlick curl thing to the side, that's how David Corenswet is too. And I personally love the new 52 suit. I don't care if other fans hate it. I love it. It's such a great, amazing suit. And what makes it pop is that little collar turtleneck thing. But they didn't add a little red trim to like the edge of it. I don't know why. It would have gave it some distinction and everything. But the new 52 had kind of like this like padded material around like the shoulder area, that badge, and that's what you see here, and it's highlighted in blue, similar to that of Zack Snyder's suit and stuff. So it's just a very, very weird combo, a mismatch of different Superman suits and everything. And I don't know why he would do that. Like the thing about Zack Snyder's suit is that it was the new 52 suit with a couple of hints of like the classic, but it worked and everything, except for like the belt area, that little like buckle, but that little weird lines there. It looks fine, and it probably would look weird with a belt, but then again, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I really wanted that Superman to wear like the collar and the turtleneck, but he didn't. Now I finally get that, but it's a weird mismatch of all these different Superman suits. And it just looks like you took a bunch of Superman suits, pretend like they're clay, mush them together, and that's what you get. You get David Corenswet suit. It's just a mismatch mush of like clay and everything, different pieces of color of clay, and it's just jarring and everything. And then when you add the whole bagginess of it, it just looks pathetic. Like it's an okay suit, don't get me wrong, but it's just weird. There's something just wrong with it and stuff. Like there's something off about it that just don't feel right. Like when you look at it, you should get a feel when you're looking at a Superman suit or any costume. If you're looking at the Christopher Reeve suit, and and say you get the what's his name, Dean Cain suit, which is very similar, you're like, okay, that's basing it off the classic comics and stuff. If you look at the Superboy television show, basing it off the comics once again and everything. And so then when you go up to the Brandon Routh original suit that they had in Superman Returns, then you're like, okay, you're trying to be Christopher Reeve, but you're trying to do something different. But at least they did something different. And then, of course, you get the Zack Snyder, and it looks like the new 52. So you think, okay, new 52 and everything. But when you look at this, you don't know how really to feel. You just think of some kind of else world from a comic you never read before and stuff. Hopefully, this movie will do good. I am worried. I just want DC to have a win. I want to watch something good again. I want to watch a good comic book something again. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till The Boys to come out next month. But I want a good comic book movie. And I said this before. This is probably going to make or break James Gunn in the DC. He failed with Brightburn. He has some success with the Suicide Squad, but he needs a home run because, they might be all like, you're not really delivering and everything. Because this thing I don't understand about the Superman movie. When you have a solo superhero movie, that hero and that hero only really needs to be the only person in that movie. You don't need 50 million other superheroes in your movie. Even if it's just a cameo, you don't need that because then it becomes overstuffed. It becomes similar to what a A-list movie is. And 9 out of 10 times an A-list movie flops at the box office and everything. And seriously, man, it's like this is probably going to kill his career in Hollywood, at least in the comic book department, if he does not hit a home run with this. Because we remember what happened with Scooby-Doo. The first one he wrote was good. The second one was kind of mediocre. And then he kind of just disappeared and did his own stuff. And when he does his own stuff, they're really, really gross. I'm not even joking. That Romeo and Juliet movie he made, like, ugh, and everything. And then, of course, the MCU came a-calling and everything. And he screwed that up with the stuff he said years ago. And so, yeah, like the people always look at this dude as kind of like the god of comic books. But he's hit or miss. And even when he hits, he doesn't hit a home run. So he really needs to hit a home run and everything. And this suit should have looked really different. I mean, yeah, Shazam is not Superman, but at least his suit looks different. And then when they had the other the family Shazams and stuff, all of their costume, while looking similar, still looked different and stuff. And, I don't understand how you can go from making such great comic book costumes from the DCEU, But then every time James Gunn gets his hands on a comic book property, he always makes mid-looking suits because he's such a classic. You can't always do that crap, man. I mean, James Tucker could get away with it in animation, but that's animation. This is live action. And you always gotta have your best suit when you're going on that interview and everything. And if David Corenswet Superman was going on an interview, I'll be like, next, because that suit is just okay. It's just okay. But maybe it looks better in live action, like running around. Maybe it looks better standing up. Who knows? But for right now, it just looks like a baggy, cheap version of a CW show. I mean, when I first saw this picture, somebody uploaded it on like Twitter. I thought it was AI until I saw DC uploaded it too. I'm all like, holy crap, this is actually real. And other people thought it was AI. This freaking AI thing, man, it has to go, man. Because now every time something pops up on like the internet or Twitter or like, this and that, people always assume it's AI now. And you know what? Now don't worry. What's everybody else's costume gonna look like now? Like, what's Supergirl's costume gonna look like? Because she's supposed to be in this movie and stuff. And, oh, God, Guy Gardner, he might go with the old classic jacket look or something. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.